Biscuits and tea.
Yeah, we've got a 34 coming in hot from the west side.
The altitude at a period 99, I think.
We've got period coming in west out of South Jackson County, hot and ready.
Got some strong headwinds coming in from the west side, and it's going to delay our flight about 20 minutes behind schedule.
I was waiting to say 99. I had no idea where he's going since Tyler started talking, and he never talked during this time. So I was literally wondering where he's going on.
I just remember that we didn't even explain to our guest last week. I don't know if we want to drop it yet. That does it?
Yeah,
is it none that we're gonna have? Yeah. When's that coming out?
This is tomorrow, or
Okay.
Yeah,
we didn't explain the whole $34.99, like what that is.
Oh, do you want to explain that now? I feel like that's something we might want to wait.
It's kind of fair. She didn't explain to us what an elephant is either. So
yeah, well, she explained that you couldn't have them make you a pygmy elephant or whatever the thing you were trying to make.
That was honestly, I drank all last week just because I found out I couldn't have a pygmy elephant.
You can't have it. Not happening.
Oh, gosh.
Not happening.
Hey, weren't we supposed to have some guests today?
Yeah, what happens? These Swedes are the flakiest people I've ever met.
Whoa!
No. We've been with one of the what part of the biggest issue is I don't know if it's the biggest, but B would need to
get up early or stay up late.
Yeah,
well, you get B on just hammered at like 2 a.m.
You'd have to be up.
3 a.m.
Yeah, you'd have to be up at like 3 or 4, like a nice 3 or 4 a.m.
Even B,
we could push it back.
It's really not that difficult. Like, if the Chiefs were playing at 3 or 4, you would be up watching them.
Oh no, I'm not saying I'm against this. I just would need to plan my day around it, and like make sure I have my Fuel 90 ready to go from Glory.com. Just pound a couple of those and get on there. But I'm down to, if we're gonna have a good Swedish guest, I'm open to the possibilities of skipping sleep.
Let me give you guys just the 3 options for the guests. We're talking once again academic world, which we've touched a little bit. We've hit the academic world. Meaning like scientist, doctor, psychologist, this type of stuff. We've got right now we have some very much that's not even proper. We have some ins with the influencer world. So Instagram models,
Modern goalkeeper.
How about what about our tarot card reading friend?
Tarot card reading friend has not responded yet. Sent a feeler out. Crypto Casey has said, I will check it out. No response yet from nurse John Campbell,
Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, no, I don't know if his name's Campbell. I shouldn't misspeak. John, the doctor from the UK, the nurse from the UK, who's basically putting reports out day by day on COVID. So I think I want to pester him, and maybe we can convince him that it's his duty to come on Biscuits. Yeah. You, sir.
If you don't come on, none of us will wear a mask anywhere.
I'm really curious about the mask thing, but I also don't want to ask because it's on. I see it on headlines and I don't click, and I'm sad to say, I'm annoyed. I don't know what's going on. I just, in my head, it just goes, so the mask will help me, or the mask might help me. Okay, cool, done. I'm done with the news story. I'm done. Can I move on to the next news story? You should wear it if it could maybe help you? Yes. All right. I don't. Why is there a headline every day about a mask on my phone?
It's because so many people are making such a big deal about it.
No, yeah, it's interesting. I do think there is some psychological things that have to do with claustrophobia. Is how you say it? Claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that? You want me to grab you a definition of claustrophobia?
Yeah.
Claustrophobia.
Claustrophobia. I always pronounce it wrong. It's one of those things that when I was like 3 years old, I heard it, the wrong way the first time and have pronounced it wrong my entire life. But yeah, basically, I think
that it is.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
claustrophobia is a situational phobia triggered by an irrational and intense fear of tight or crowded spaces.
Yes. And I think that people who are not wanting to wear masks have that issue. There's a population of people, I'm telling you, Tyler, and it's older people, they freak out, they can't breathe. It's a legitimate thing. I swear. I don't understand it. I think it's ridiculous, but anxiety can cause people to believe that there are things that aren't there or that are harming them, that are not harming them. And it's a legitimate thing that I've seen a lot of older people, when they put it on, they're like, I can't breathe. It's making me panic. I know it's ridiculous, but like when I have the mask on, it really freaks me out. That's a legitimate thing.
So Tyler, why you don't think that?
Yeah. I think there's a very small, very, very small percentage of the people not wearing masks that would do that. And everyone else is just hopping on saying that as well, just as an excuse.
Oh, of course.
Because you've seen so many people say, "Oh, I have a medical condition, I can't wear a mask." What?
Sorry, what?
There's
saying this?
A ridiculous amount of people that will go in and say that they have a medical condition that somehow affects their breathing, that they can't wear a mask, and they're just.
What could that be?
They don't know. They don't have to. They say, "Oh, we don't." I don't have to tell you
what
it
sir,
is.
I have gout. I can't wear a mask. I need to know. I need to know a little bit more about what disease you have that makes you.
I haven't heard actually. I haven't heard one. I haven't heard an actual explanation from. It's just
that's not real. Is that real? People are saying this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
that's real.
Yeah,
people are saying I have a medical condition. I cannot wear a mask.
Yes.
A lot. Yeah. It's happening a lot.
I don't know. Well, I just wanted to throw this in here. B, I know has seen this, but Tyler, I'm guessing with how you keep your head in the world of the internet and in Reddit, you've probably seen. I'm going to go ahead and send that to the group right there. It's a 1 second. We've spoken about this. It's a man in Costco who felt pressure. I won't say his not calling card, but his what do you call that, slogan, logo? What is that called? Your motto?
His tagline, I guess.
Like his tagline or something. You know?
Oh, this guy's.
I don't know. Do you feel at all bad for the dude?
What happened to him after?
He got fired from his job. I think he works somewhere in insurance.
Not in the slightest. I am so happy that everyone is filming everybody act like just complete morons. They all get fired.
I feel threatened. It's such a weird.
He wouldn't have got fired. He wouldn't have got fired if he didn't walk towards the person. I really believe that. I think that is where the fact that it's an older lady too, or that's right, Will, right? Like
I think so. I think the not the woman filming or person filming, or at least there's two people there. I think one's a man and one's a woman, and the woman is older.
You're coming close to me. You're coming close to me. When he starts walking towards the person, like acting like he's gonna hit them or something, or he's gonna charge them, that's where I think he loses them. I don't think it's about I feel threatened. I don't think that's the tipping point there.
What if all of this was just Trump's master plan to just get as many people fired as possible? So everybody knows that's like his big thing. And he just gave everybody the confidence to say all these ridiculous things in public. And then he just knew they were all going to get filmed eventually. And just how many Trump supporters have been, it's the proportions of who gets fired from when they get filmed online and the people that get fired. Overwhelmingly, Trump supporters are the ones that all just get sacked for just saying.
You think so? For saying stupid shit?
Most of it's racism is an easy.
Oh yeah, the Karen type things. And
I mean, I wonder if Will, like one of these days, we're gonna go to a Thai restaurant and they're gonna bring out your food, and there's gonna be a half cup of rice in your bowl. And if you just lose your mind about the rice, and then someone records you losing your mind about the rice, and then you just get your contract cut.
But the problem is I won't say anything racist.
No, yeah.
But maybe I would taken out of context because like maybe they would try and like, because maybe I start saying things about the spices and like I've got this nice fucking coconut red curry dish and the rice is here, and like maybe they try to use rice in coconut curry, like Asian. Oh, they're saying something about the Asian community with the way he's talking. something like this. I don't know. That's very possible.
Everyone has these trigger points like that. Just absolutely, people just snap. I think in public. I think everyone should get out of free jail card for the one thing that you're in public and you just snap and lose your mind. Tyler, what's your thing?
Mine?
Like, what would just like what's the thing that would just make you snap one day in public and like be one of these Karens? Like, what's your thing?
I'd have to think about it. There's a handful of things that will. You know what it would be? If someone was filming me while I was driving and the things I yell from in my car, so the windows are up, at other drivers, like you guys have seen DC drivers.
Yes.
The things I yell at people while I'm driving, I don't actually pull up and yell at them. The things I yell that just while I'm in my car, if I was filmed, would be fired in a heartbeat from wherever I was.
Has anyone ever had a road rage incident?
Yes.
Mine. You have?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, because like, do you guys remember? I don't know. This used to happen. I used to hear these stories when I was, I don't know, like in my teens, where it was like road rage. We lost another man today after one person got cut off. Yeah. John jumped out of the car and shot him. And I remember just being like, wow,
yeah.
Did you cut
Did you
off?
see the one with the crossbow?
No. What is it? What do you can you explain, or is there a link?
Some guy brought out a crossbow and shot the person with the crossbow. It was one of those little health class videos they showed, like to scare you.
I'm sorry. What class did you go to? What class is this? You always come up with these. Wait a second. Wait. Before you get there, how many times did he do this? What did he do when Knox was on the other day? You said something about. You say these things where like you act as if we've all been there, like to that class or to the thing, and it's never a thing.
I've been under the impression that the whole U.S. would show the same drunk driving videos, the same road rage videos. It's just a huge
road rage because your ass is going to get shot by a crossbow. That's what they're teaching in DC.
No, they were teaching. Yeah, more or less.
So I just put into YouTube road rage crossbow, and then it says driver pulls. It's 8 years ago, so I don't know.
I don't think that's old enough. Maybe.
Well, there's one.
No,
yeah.
That's definitely not.
Driver pulls crossbow during road rage incident, and then there's triple crossbow kill. I mean, plus road rage 9 years ago.
Obviously, you got to pick and choose your battles, folks. You can't have road rage with the guy that has the giant truck that he can hide all of his weapons in. You got to pick your fights here.
I mean, I have a fair amount of road rage, but it's all confined to my property in my car. Like that's how I broke my iPhone. Was I made the wrong turn. This is anyone in DC. I didn't get no. It wasn't cut off. It was my phone's fault. It wasn't any other drivers. But I was trying. Anyone familiar with the DC area? I was trying to get over the Key Bridge at like 5:30, which is just an absolute disaster. So you guys, obviously, when you drove into DC, you saw how we went over the Potomac River.
Yeah.
There's like 4 bridges to get everyone out of DC back into Virginia. And once rush hour hits, it's just choke point. It's a mess. And I made the wrong turn, and my GPS added 90 minutes onto the trip back home. 90 minutes. I made one wrong turn, 90 minutes, and I slammed my phone once on the steering wheel. I wound up to slam it again, and Victoria grabbed my hand and was like, Tyler, stop. And I was fuming.
Man. That's rough. That sort of stuff. Is your guys' public... Wait, before, because I don't want to take us too off topic, I just want you guys to go ahead and look at this. There was a public... I'm guessing this is a public service announcement. And go ahead and... Yeah, just run. It's 40 seconds.
Okay. Okay. So we have a truck and a Mercedes here. And the truck gets mad. Oh, and cuts off the person. Okay.
Right.
So this is all fake.
Oh, gets out of the truck.
Well,
he's screaming.
Yeah.
Oh.
Smacks the car. Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Should have stayed in your car, pal.
Yeah, that was more or less the videos they showed us just at the end.
Yeah. Okay.
The guy
so
got shot with the crossbow.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So yeah, well, we didn't to give him the punchline, the guy after he hit the car, Evander Holyfield, gets out of the Mercedes, which is still technically not like the right message, right? Because let's have Team Golarimi do, well, what if this? So Evander Holyfield gets out acting all tough, which is already a bad idea. That guy pulls out a gun. Can you punch bullets?
Yeah.
Evander, can you dodge those?
That's actually.
If you get out of the car, if you get out of the car,
that's a terrible.
You just gotta commit. If you're gonna get out, you gotta overcommit. You gotta act more crazy than the other person, no matter what.
Why would you get out of your car? You're in a tank.
All I'm saying is
nobody's
that's not a legitimate situation. If you're gonna get out of the car, you gotta fully commit to whatever is about to happen. You can't get out of the car and then start backing up and then get back into your car and scream out the window and then drive. You just look like an idiot. If you're actually going to make that commitment to get out of the car, you got to go for it, no matter who it is.
Yeah. The idea, you should never get out of the car. There's never a good reason to get out of your car in road rage, obviously. But yes, I would imagine if you do, I think you actually need to go for a more shock and awe tactic. And I don't even think intimidation. I think you pull something maybe a little bit akin to like how you fight against a gorilla, since we've all learned how to fight gorillas now by eating. I think you just you get out of the car and you go take your anger to someone else, go to the car behind him and tell the guy, try to bring your dude, something, diffuse the situation completely different.
Have you heard one of the best ways to diffuse a fight if someone wants to fight you?
You're not going to do that, to pull your pants down or something like that.
You just strip. You just strip naked. Because not many people are ready to fight a naked person.
Then you get arrested for indecent exposure, and then you're on the.
That's true.
You just got yourself in trouble. Yeah, self-defense.
You could argue that in court.
Yeah,
because you could, but you got to wait a while. First you're going to go through the internet's going to take care of you for a little bit, just like I feel threatened. How, do you think there are kids? Do you think kids recognizing this dude? Hey, I feel threatened. When he's walking around, I feel threatened.
I think that's the issue is that we just allow people to act however they want. We've gotten so far away from bullying people. I think that, I think people like that, we need to bring it back so they know to act better out in public.
What would be the one thing that would be okay to bully someone about? Is there a thing?
Can we go back to driving? Can we go to those people that will drive past the whole line of cars merging off somewhere, then they pull back on? You guys don't have traffic in Kansas City, so I don't think you can relate to.
We obviously have traffic in Kansas City, but we have better roads because we have more space. Because you guys,
there's an off ramp, and a lot of times on off ramps, there's a long line to get off of them. And there'll be a car that will go past every single car, and then they'll pull into the last second. So they just cut 15 minutes out of.
But did you cut though? I don't. I'm not 100% sure. I disagree with that. If they're not breaking the law, because it's okay, if there's a long line right there, but if somebody within that line is going to go, or grandma's going to fall asleep at the wheel, and she's going to leave a giant gap. Are you supposed to wait in the line? Are you lining up?
Seems strategic.
That's my question. Is it if they cross the lines and they go into the yellow and they do that shit and it's dangerous? I agree with you. If grandma falls asleep and leaves a big gap, I'm not sure I agree. I don't. What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to wait in that line? Why are you waiting in the line?
Because it's common courtity.
You're banging your stuff. You're screaming at the people inside the car. If they had a megaphone on the outside of your car, you'd basically be be destroying everyone.
Yeah, it doesn't affect them at all, though. They don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, I just don't know if I'm supposed to wait in that line. I don't know.
When you guys really haven't spent enough time traveling. When you know you're going to get off somewhere, and you know that there's always a long line there, you get into that lane.
Wait.
Before the line even starts, and then you'll catch up to it.
Did he just say with Will John on the line that you guys haven't traveled enough? Did I?
No, I said you haven't spent enough time in traffic enough.
I was like,
I've lived in Chicago. I've definitely driven in places. The best way to avoid it is to get in the lane. However, I think there's a safe way. I think it's balance. I don't think this is a black and white thing. I think the people who go past the line and like go and like where it's like waiting till the very end and like causing traffic issues and like getting scared because this dude's trying to wiggle his way, or he's blocking traffic behind him because he knows he's gonna miss it, so he just stopped. That one that's a huge issue because then he's overdone it. But there's a way to balance it.
That's who I want to bully. I want to bully the guy that is the social hero that's blocking everybody from being able to maybe do the illegal thing. You know,
you guys.
I don't care. Like, it'll piss me off if someone does that kind of stuff, Tyler, or like whatever. But like, I don't like the person that is like the tattletale, like that role. That drives me absolutely nuts. And I've seen that backfires on people. I've seen someone do that and then end up getting hit because the person does not give a fuck, and they just like, all right, well, if you're gonna fuck with me, they just run through the person.
Like, yeah. You're gonna be they've chosen to be the hero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's another one of those things where it's like, all right, he's gonna cut you in line. He's gonna cut you. He's gonna get to your place. And honestly, you normally get there at about the same time in traffic.
Yeah,
you get there everybody gets there at about the same. Yeah, no one really like you pass 6 cars. But you get there, at the same time. So I don't know, like,
I'm about to show you guys a video.
Oh God. Of
absolutely, this was on the highway that. Let's see, where am I going to send this? This was on the highway where we would drive to DC United's field, so like 395. So we go across that bridge into the city. Oh no, maybe we weren't on 395. Well, this is like the biggest highway in DC.
This is called No, sir. There's a man or a woman in the middle of the highway trying to make a U-turn.
Oh,
no, she's trying to get, essentially.
Sorry, sir. Why do you think it's a she? Why are you claiming this is a woman? Do you know anything about it? The windows are tinted. What is happening? They are slowly.
Oh my God.
What are you doing?
Can you imagine?
What is she doing?
Oh no.
No.
Oh
no. Maybe there's something wrong. Maybe we're missing something. They drove.
There's nothing. There was.
Oh my God! It was not a U-turn.
No. This is just in. She's trying to get.
She missed her exit, so she.
She's trying to get in the
exit. She. Can we confirm the gender?
She's a she now.
I think it was a she. I remember seeing the news article.
Yeah. Okay. We'll let you say that. That's.
Yeah.
That.
I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. But that's just.
That's what I'm talking. But this person clearly missed their exit and stopped and went back. That's one of the most audacious moves I've ever seen.
Yeah,
because that's like Grand Theft Auto stuff. Like,
how many lives were put at risk right there?
Ooh.
Like, wow. You could literally cause a massive car pileup by doing something like that.
Oh my God. Thank God the traffic wasn't going super fast. And all the rest of the people too. Like, what good drivers too, to just sit there and just like, I'm going to let this train wreck happen in front of me. I'm not even going to try and swerve around it. Like, everybody, let's all stop. Like, what would the police, you arrest her, right?
Yeah.
I arrest that woman. There's no ticket.
No, it's reckless driving. No, which you can arrest someone for reckless driving.
I wouldn't care if there was a law on that. We're gonna go to jail. We're gonna talk to the judge, and we're gonna figure out how to make something.
Let's make sure this
turn around on
again.
the highway. You don't turn around on a fucking highway. Are you kidding me?
I wonder, like the thought process, like that kind of mentality. Like, okay, I made a mistake and I missed my exit, so let me just put 50 people's lives at risk. Like, what else do they do in their day to day that is just like they carry that same mentality into other things? Like, that's their problem solving.
Don't put their.
Do you think these let's dive into that person's life? Do you think they don't wash their hands? They also like do all sorts of really weird. I don't know how do you say this? What do you call that at offices? I'm trying to put they're putting everybody else's life in danger in a small space. Like if there's a fire escape or a fire exit, they like park their car right in front of it. They do everything that could possibly kill some, and they're unaware.
100% parking in the handicap spots.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
100%.
But my question is, are they oblivious or do they not care?
I think they just don't give a shit.
like what I just saw there, that's so. How do you not know that it's not okay to turn around on the highway?
It's so dangerous. And they just committed, and I mean, I give them credit for like being like committed to doing it. They just, no matter what was going on, no matter how dangerous it was, they just,
you're right.
They went, they were going to do it, and they did it, like, good for you.
Yeah.
There is some truth to that. 'Cause that's a pretty sketchy
5 lanes
highway.
Of traffic.
5 lanes you go across on that, and then you got right before that there's a turn, so you got the cars on the inside coming around like a blind turn coming in. It's
commitment, because if you start, like if she went 60% of the way and then turned back, that's a really big failure. We're gonna have to get you can't just block traffic on the highway and then be like, I can't do this is terrible. No, we got to do it.
Yeah,
I think it's another commitment.
If you stop your car on the highway in any capacity like that, like you gotta go for it. You just gotta go. Because I mean, literally the other day I was driving on one of the major highways in Kansas City, and someone had just had a bad car accident. So there was 2 cars that were just stand still in the middle of the highway. There was almost 3 or 4 accidents like in front of me and behind me within like a 15-second period, just because there was cars stopped on the highway. People don't expect to have to go from 70 miles per hour to standstill ever. Everyone's on their freaking phone. Everyone texts and drive when you're on the highway, because when you're on the highway, you just go the same mile per hour. You got to move your wheel, like a very minuscule amount.
Barely.
So it's almost like you're in cruise control. But that is the absolute time you need to be paying attention the most, because the one time you're driving and all of a sudden there's a car that's stopped in the middle of the highway and you're not paying attention, it's over.
Boom. Totally.
And people drastically underestimate how far it takes you to stop going from 70 miles per hour to 0.
Oh no.
Even if you just slam on the brakes, you skid for for like 3 football fields. You're just going to skid.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can't. Could you imagine a car that could literally take you from 70 to 0 immediately?
It would have all your organs like fall out of your throat.
Yeah, the G-force.
You're talking about essentially hitting a wall.
Yeah, no, exactly. You'd hit a wall. Maybe we need to create something where you jump. Yeah, maybe we get like is there something like a loop? Maybe like send you up into the air. You
guys want to hear? This was when I was a kid.
What?
You don't even just have the dumbest ideas as a kid. For my idea, every now and then, where my idea to stop people from speeding was, if people were speeding, you'd have the roads wired up to where someone's speeding, spike traps would just come up and pop their tires. As a kid, I thought that'd be a good idea to get people not to speed.
I'm going to take this just to the same level. You guys have both heard of citizens arrests?
Oh, God.
Do you guys know what that is?
Yeah.
All right. So I just wanted to I looked up the understanding. So every state in the U.S., except for a few states like North Carolina and Washington, have statutes granting private citizens the power to make arrests. And the question below it became, can a cop be placed under citizens arrest?
You can try. Good luck.
I saw that question and I'm just... Could you place a police officer that you see is breaking the law?
I mean,
could you place him under arrest?
I think under
is this theoretical?
The law, yes, I think you can. Yes, you're just a different agent.
How would you go about proving that? What crime? This guy would have to. It'd have to be one of these like murder, rape, some sort of. It would be something of that nature. You can't like see a cop jaywalking. Excuse me, sir. I'm Bob from 16 Grant Avenue. I'm going to need you to come with me.
I really think you're on the right. I think rape might be the only one, because even in murder.
Oh, you're right.
Like how many times?
You're right.
Murder, like really, like
that's happened.
I don't think you could do.
Yeah,
I don't think you could do anything. I think it would have to be them just raping someone in a back alley. Or something.
Yeah. I think you're right.
And by citizen, I don't know how you'd even.
What happens if you say no? Like, is that resisting arrest? Are you then allowed to tackle the police officer?
We flip it on them. We flip it on bad cops. Yeah. You're resisting arrest. Well, you're resisting arrest. I'm taking you in. Yeah.
Yeah, what happens?
Oh God,
sounds like a conflict of interest. Sounds like
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. You think there are like what you need to know about making a citizen's arrest? I just because you have those things. You could have what do you call that? Like not a vigilante. What's a militia? It's kind of like a militia. Like, could we like get together, like be out and?
There are people where someone will find someone breaking into their car or something, and they'll put them at gunpoint and just have them on the ground until the cops show up. So I guess that's kind of more or less what a citizen's arrest is.
Yeah,
is you just
but you've already broken the law
until.
You mean
how so?
Well, I can tell you because I'm on the Department of Justice. This is unfortunately, this is Canada, but here I'm just going to read it anyway. It says, avoid using force, if at all possible, and use it to the minimum possible otherwise. Do not question or search the suspect. Call the police. So ask explicitly for his or her cooperation. Is this just like the Canadian way to arrest someone? Hey, what do Canadians sound like? What's the A?
I don't know how.
Well, geez, I think you should come down to the station with us so we can put you through processing. I know Margie's not going to be happy about it, but you got to go.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah. Could you? Yeah. I don't know. It just seems like a really slippery slope. I don't know if there's a precedent for that, but
don't think it should be allowed. I don't think that citizens should be able to just go around arresting people. I don't trust the opinion of the public to make those decisions right now.
What has ever given you the right not to trust the opinion of the public? What has the opinion of the public ever done to you?
Hold on a second. Let's go ahead and look at this. I typed in, just out of curiosity, crazy news now. Just out of curiosity. Do you guys have any idea what, and you can guess this, what sector of weirdness like this would come from? Do you have any idea? Like tech world, sports,
of just like crazy
entertainment.
Crazy news.
What's the first crazy news thing that I saw? Where would it come from?
Sports?
Fox.
You guys are basically you're on a it's about Amazon and Jeff Bezos.
Okay. What's he doing? What's he up to? I haven't heard a lot out of Mr. Bald Man, alien looking man. Does anyone else think he looks like an alien? He looks a little bit like an alien. I'm just gonna.
Well, I
thought Zuckerberg was supposed to be the alien.
Zuckerberg's a robot.
He doesn't.
Robot or
he doesn't
lizard?
Talk like a normal human, dude. He is AI or something.
Well, like real shit. What's wrong with him? What's wrong with Mark Zuckerberg? What's wrong with him when he talks? Why does he talk like that? And I don't think he talked like that before. I think this is something new. Like I think I programmed into Facebook and it's something's what happened.
I feel like when he's talking, he's saying things like 'cause he's scared like someone's gonna kill him. Like that's what it seems like. He seems like he's talking in a way that like someone is like, if you say the wrong things, you're done. Like, and it's Russia. This is sitting in the background, and he's being controlled. Like something like
you
that.
think something like that?
Like where
like he's compromised.
Yeah, like someone has something on him, and the second he goes against something like that, like it's just gonna leak out, and then it's game over.
He does seem nervous though, right? Like he seems nervous all the time.
Yeah.
Elon Musk doesn't seem nervous.
Mm-mm.
He seems relaxed.
Podcast, smokes a joint with Joe Rogan. Like he doesn't care, man. He doesn't care.
Go ahead, Tyler. Yeah, go ahead.
I thought he just had like some form of like autism or something, or just like social anxiety.
I don't think he was like that. Now we could be. If I type in, does Mark Zuckerberg have a social? What would you call that?
Disorder?
Social anxiety disorder, or just a social disorder? Does Mark Zuckerberg have a social disorder?
Why does Mark Zuckerberg talk?
Okay. The top result is, does Mark Zuckerberg have mild Asperger's?
Asperger's. That's what I was actually.
Is Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg on the autism spectrum? Now, underneath that, is Mark Zuckerberg a sociopath? Underneath that, is Mark Zuckerberg a psychopath? They're just
I don't know. Every sort of mental disorder just goes down the list.
People are actually questioning this. Does Mark Zuckerberg have some sort of mental disability? No, they're trying to say. I mean, I don't know. Is he just kind of strange? Because from what I saw there, like from that Senate hearing, or was that I think it was a Senate hearing.
Yeah.
When he's in front of all the people and all that. That's different than what he was like in his interviews way back in the day. That's what I'm talking about. So maybe I don't know. It seems like something's up.
It could be too if it was mild back then. He didn't have as much pressure.
Maybe.
And now everything he says directly impacts so much of the company, and like he can lose a ton off of just a single sentence. So maybe it's just a lot.
True.
Maybe there's just more pressure and just.
It's interesting because I saw his sister. I think her name's Randy. She gave a speech at this digital marketing conference, and she's like the most outgoing, charismatic person there is. So like you
okay.
You put her up against her brother, and it's like they're from two different families almost. It's crazy. She goes on Ellen and stuff. Like she's just like so different than her brother. And she actually helped kind of create all of the live functions and stuff like that. She was involved in the business for a long time, but eventually left because basically she insinuated that being a woman there was not going to end up working out with their board of directors and stuff.
She could come work for the Redskins. Oh, I don't know if I can say that.
I don't know. You just got canceled. No. GK Goleremy down.
GK Goleremy down.
No, yeah.
She can come work for the Washington No Names.
What are they going to be, Tyler? What's the name going to be? We kind of called that about, 4 months ago, Will? The name was going to
be changed? I hope it's the Red Wolves would be my...
What does a
Red What does it have to do?
Vote?
But yeah, thank you. That was our 4 or 5 months ago. Have you seen that clip? Yeah, you've seen that clip, Tyler. Where you go, what happened in Washington? Where you just like calling the Washington Wizards and no, there's supposed to be something. Mm-hmm. This is the capital. It's supposed to have something to do with the place.
I think they're called the Americans.
Well, it did have something. That's what the Wizards before were the Bullets, which had something to do with the capital, and people didn't like it.
What was that referring to?
It was the murder capital of the U.S.
Oh my God! Well, that doesn't sound like a good thing to promote.
Well, that's what they went with.
Watch a basketball game because you might get shot and killed. Come on out and watch the Washington Bullets.
Oh man, that's one of the best kept secrets in the world. That the
and it's a shame because I think the Bullets is a good name. Obviously, don't name a team for that reason, but I do like the name if it was. Yeah, just in like Wisconsin or something.
Sure.
There's no way they named the team after the murder capital. They like manufacture bullets in the city or something. Like, what is the deal with this?
No, that's
what was this? So this was the basketball team we're talking about.
Yeah,
the Bullets before. Nah, that would be crazy. Were they really the Bullets? Are you not remembering this correctly? They were for sure the Bullets.
No, they were the Bullets.
And
the Washington
you think
Bullets.
They were named that because it was the murder capital? And was this supposed to strike fear in other people?
Yeah, maybe just like a hostile environment.
Yeah.
You come into Washington Bullets.
There's something to that.
In 1970,
what are you getting?
After moving to Landover, Maryland, they played a season as the Capital Bullets. And in 1974, they became the Washington Bullets. A name kept until 1995 when owner Abe Paulin renamed the team the Washington Wizards because of the violent overtones of the word bullet. Nothing about the origin.
Yeah.
Let's say I got to make sure my camera's on. Someone called me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, then it's probably off because it needs to be on no disturb.
My freaking camera went off when someone called me, but I just restarted it.
Yeah, boom. Shout out to Paulus for sorting that out. Yeah, I don't know that we can actually name anything the Bullets or the bazookas. Tyler, have you fired a gun?
No, I haven't. I want to. I was offered to go to a shooting range one time and to shoot a bunch of AK-47s, and I didn't go, and I regret it. It would have been a lot of fun.
AK-47?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was someone I was hanging out with one of their friends was one of those. You've seen War Dogs?
No.
With Jonah Hill. So he was pretty much a contractor
I
for finding government like weapons. Like he would find a bunch of weapons somewhere and then find a contract and then he would sell them. And just he was around our age. This would be we were maybe 22, making just hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars just selling these weapons. Yeah. So he had just a ridiculous amount himself, and he asked if I wanted to come out and go shooting one time, and I didn't go that one time, and then just never went.
Yeah. I had this discussion today with Swedish guys who were asking me, like, is it normal to, like, no one outside of the US has any understanding that you can, like, go down to the store, like, grab a Big Mac, pop by, pick up a gun.
Yeah.
Go, like, that's the question that is most, like, they go, you don't think that's fucked up? And I go, I grew up with it. I go, nobody in my family has guns, or sorry, none my direct immediate family. Yeah. My mother and father I did not grow up with guns, but, and so I said, it's kind of something that we all get normalized to in the US. So I said, and I go, when you guys are talking to people about that, like in the US, you're going to find some people that have really, really passionate views on it. So I was trying to tell them. Go ahead.
I've actually changed 180 degrees in the past 3 months on automatic weapons. I used to be against automatic weapons, and now I want an AR. I want it in my house.
Bring me through this thought process so we can understand.
It was through the protest and just seeing that our government will literally use our army against, and if they do it for, I don't want to ever use, like, obviously I'd go shooting with it. I don't want to ever have to actually, like, if I heard someone bumping around in my kitchen at night, it's not something I would go grab.
Yeah.
It just, if shit hits the fan, I want an automatic weapon just around.
But would it help you? Because you don't have riot gear. You don't have a bulletproof vest. I mean, you could. You don't have tear gas.
Nothing.
And you need to fortify your house also.
I don't know. It's better than nothing.
Maybe it makes you feel better. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I kind of understand Tyler's thought process here. I think that if you are that paranoid, though, if you think that's a legitimate opportunity that someone could come take over your apartment or house or whatever, then it's probably time to think about moving out of the city. That would be the first step that I think someone needs to take. So if you really feel like, oh crap, like if something happens, like I'm going to be in trouble, I need to have an AR, weapon. I think that's like, okay, well, let's just move out to Western Kansas. Let's go have a simpler life, move out there. You can get your guns in a safe room, and let's take some other precautionary measures before you just have an AK-47 strapped to the bottom of your bed that, someone can find, or you get angry and pull out the wrong moment, or, just ruin your life. Like, let's figure out some other things first.
Well, that's interesting you say that, because actually me and Victoria, we've already decided, like, we're pretty set on not living in the US in the long run.
I gotcha.
Like we'd much rather, right now our top choice is Portugal,
which is a great place. Very chill. It fits your.
It's very chill. It's cheap. There's not a lot of racism issues.
Yeah, they're right there on the tip of. They've had to deal with that sort of stuff for eons.
Yeah, so it's like more integrated than
Middle East, and yeah.
So we're set on that, and then obviously, like, parents will be living in the U.S., like visiting and stuff, but I don't think we're really set on being based in the U.S.
Yeah.
So then, in that case, I wouldn't
after
have
living in D.C. or an AR-15. I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah.
Well, it's not fear. It's not. I don't know if. It's not something I'm super concerned about. It's just something that.
Yeah, you avoid a lot of the trappings of what the things. Yeah, when I try to explain to people, first off, I tell them, like, listen, like, my head is not in the thing. I don't really know. Like, I have a podcast that I go to every week where people can inform me on what's going on. So, like, first off, I don't know what I'm talking about. Second off, I don't have any, because they're looking at me like, explain this. Explain to me why you need that. Explain to me why you think everyone should have a gun. Did you guys have school shootings last year? Did you have one? Oh, no, you had 10? No, we haven't had one ever.
Yeah.
So what do you, like, explain? They want an answer from me. I don't have any answers.
No.
I can't tell you what, some countries get rid of their guns, like Australia or New Zealand or whatever. They had school shootings or big shootings, and they get rid of their guns, and it doesn't happen again, and we don't. And I can't explain it to them in a way. I don't know.
It's not America. Like, this is the argument that I get really frustrated with, is that it's like it's your right to own a weapon. Well, it's only your right to own a weapon if you have enough money to be able to pay for one. So if you have a bunch of citizens in the country, and then obviously there's a disproportionate, flow of money to certain people in our country, and only a certain group of people can afford to buy weapons. So if only a certain amount of people can buy weapons, is it really a right that you have to go buy a weapon? Like, I can't afford it. I get paid $7.25 an hour, and the rich person has the gun and I don't. So how is it everyone's right? Everyone needs a gun. When you're born, you get a gun.
Yeah. You hear that a lot. That like, 1 in 3 American citizens owns a gun. And no, that's not. It's one person owns like 40 guns.
Yeah.
And then the other 39 people don't have any.
Yeah, I it's really interesting. So I just while we were here, are you aware of this in Kansas? Guns in vehicles in Kansas. Under Kansas law, a person may transport a loaded firearm in a vehicle without any permit required, regardless of whether the loaded firearm is stored in a container or transported in plain view. And then, on top of this, according to the NRA, Kansas does not require licensing of an owner, a registration of the firearm, or a permit to purchase or carry firearms, including rifles, shotguns, and pistols. So we're like, is there a rule?
It's a Wild West.
No. Are there rules?
No.
Can
a felon have one then? Can a felon walk around with a gun?
No. That's got to be a federal issue. This is not. That can't be a state.
That's the other beautiful thing about how we mass incarcerate people, and basically it's a modern form of slavery, because once you get arrested for any of these felonies, you cannot vote anymore, and you lose your right to own a gun, and you lose your right to this and this. You can't get a job, and it just like further grows this issue of one side having things, the other side not having things. So yeah, it's a complete shit show, the whole gun.
Yeah, and that falls into too, where if you're charged of some crazy felonies like murder, rape, whatever, good luck. But if you get charged of these borderline felonies and you have money, you just throw $100,000 at a lawyer and it's gone. And if you get charged with, you had a pound of weed and you don't have any money, well, here's a felony. Here's jail. 10 years in jail. And
that's amazing. All right, well, is that not just a crazy system to think that? And there's some way of doing that legally where you can have a wealthy family, and little Johnny, does a hit and run, and he either, damages some stuff or, God forbid, kills somebody, and then they can give a certain amount of money to the law, and then it can go away somehow. It's really weird.
Tyler, can you look up what the percentages on settlements, like in court cases? Like, how often does it not make it to?
For what though?
Just for like literally like any kind of like felony charge, like what percentage of those are handled outside of court? Because it is absolutely astronomical. I remember the stat was insane that like people obviously do those settlements and it screws them.
Expunged is the word you're looking for.
Oh, well, that's expunged off your record, though. I thought,
expunged.
Right?
No, I'm just talking about.
I think that means
expunge. Go ahead.
Expunge. Expunge usually means that it's settled out of court. So you'll be charged with something, and then you'll pay the lawyer to talk to the prosecutor. Who that whole situation's fucked because they're both friends. Mm-hmm. Like if you pay enough to get a lawyer who's friends with the prosecutor, they'll go talk to the prosecutor. Then they'll settle it out of court, and then it will be on record that you got arrested, but it won't be on record that you got charged. So you can just say.
And the perfect example of this,
the guy didn't.
And then Will, you can let us know what you found.
No.
Yeah. Tyreek Hill, the wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs, when he was in college, he got into a domestic dispute with his girlfriend. He was alleged to have been physical with her, hit her in the stomach while she was pregnant. There's horrible things that were said about it. And basically, it was settled outside of court, from my understanding, because he's in college and he can't afford to hire a lawyer, can't afford to go through that process of defending himself. Like, what it actually takes to defend yourself with lawyers, it's very, very expensive. And obviously, we know, like, if you have money, you can get yourself out of these things. So most of these people who are accused of these crimes, they literally just have to take the settlement, because if they can't afford it, first of all, but if they don't accept it, the crimes and the punishments are terrifyingly worse than just taking the settlement. So you have all these issues of, okay, well, actually, has justice been served in this scenario? Did Tyreek Hill actually do all these things, or was he forced into just taking, okay, lawyers said, hey, just take the settlement, do the probation for 12 months, don't get in trouble, then we can sweep this under the rug, damage control, and you're not going to be, in debt of a bunch of money. Okay. But that's not right. What if he didn't actually do the thing? What if he actually didn't do this stuff? Like, that's so scary,
Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me just tell you this before it gets off topic. I was just going to say that Will Smith mentioned, I don't know if you guys seen his YouTube video. He speaks about how much he gets sued. He gets sued constantly. He has a retainer of lawyers, just basically because people are just, I don't know what Will Smith's doing all the time, but people are, it's an easy sue this person. Hey, this could be an issue. Will, let's just give the guy $2,000. Give this guy $3,000. Just give this. And it's just like a thing where people are actually doing this. And there are people out there that have make a living off of either class action suits or finding ways to sue people and taking settlements on that.
Yeah.
Todd, go ahead and say what you're going to say, because I have this research. I know some stuff now.
You want to hear a crazy number?
Okay.
More than 70 million Americans, nearly 1 in 3 adults, have a criminal record. As a result, more than 30 million U.S. children, nearly 1 in 2 kids, have at least one parent with a criminal record.
Wow.
That is.
How does that vary from other places? I wonder.
And then this leads into how 9 in 10 employers, 4 in 5 landlords, and 3 in 5 colleges use background checks for screening applicants' criminal records.
Right.
And one study found that more than 45,000 federal and state statutes and regulations impose disqualifications or disadvantages on individuals with a conviction. So,
well, yeah, I just want to add to those. I just want to add to that. I'm not sure as far as criminal cases, but I've got the government survey shows that 97% of civil cases are settled. So, by the way, also the plaintiffs almost always win. Not almost always, sorry, more than half win is what I meant to say. 55%, and in the year, it looks like. Jesus Christ. Do you know how much? It's a 4.4. Let's put it this way. If you thought of it as a business, it's a $4.4 billion industry of people suing to get that
each
stuff.
Year?
And then I don't know if it's each year. I can't really find that thing. It's a small amount of time. That might actually be the yearly stat. But how about this for your federal criminal? So this is from June 11th, 2019. Only 2% of federal criminals. Only 2% of federal criminal defendants go to trial. Most who do are found guilty.
Yeah.
So the overwhelming majority, 90%, plead guilty instead, while the remaining 8% had their cases dismissed. So you basically, if you get charged, you basically take the plea deal.
Well, they'll say, well, you can get 20 years in jail. If we charge you, if you're found guilty, you're gonna get 20 years, or you take the guilty deal and we'll give you 3. And what are you gonna do? You don't have money. You have money to get a public defender who.
Yeah, they're gonna lock you away.
Like, what are you gonna take?
Why isn't there not a major? I guess it doesn't make any sense because there's just no way for this to make money. Like, would it not be like, imagine, I don't know, Johnson & Johnson lawyer firm or whatever their lawyer firm, like the world's best lawyer firm. Could we not get them to defend a whole bunch of, how come there's not like a badass? It's just not.
There are. No, there's some foundations that will go through.
I know that.
And there's a bunch of pretty high-powered lawyers. Yeah, and they go find people who've been wrongly convicted, and they start opening their trials up again.
For the high-profile cases.
But it's not. Yeah.
The ones
it's not.
They don't go around and like. I want to go go into like, what would happen if the world's best lawyers started defending all these petty criminals, petty crimes that they try and catch people for in like an impoverished community. Like, what would happen if they started pulling these favors to get these people?
There's no way to
off of it. You're like, no, that's ridiculous. You just pulled him over. You didn't. His light was not out. You've profiled this person. Yeah. You're done. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to get you fired and move. Like the same thing they do for the high. What would happen? Would it turn shit upside down?
I think for it to happen, I think you would need someone like soccer, someone with just an absurd amount of money just to throw money, just hire up a team of 500, 1,000 high profile lawyers and just have them go to work. Yeah, just have them go to work.
It's going to take somebody who has just billions of dollars that just is like, you know what? Let's just shake things up and just $1 billion. And they just go for it.
Yeah.
Because that's the issue. It's all money. Like it's all how the money can be made and where it's going to be going.
Right.
There's no profitability in defending people that are innocent. There's just
You know who we should push to do that?
Who's that?
Jay-Z.
Ooh. Jay-Z, put Jay-Z and Diddy, right? Diddy's almost but Diddy's, those guys.
Is he a billionaire?
Diddy's about to be a billionaire or is a billionaire. That's they can't
they
give
can
away.
At least just start in New York. What if they at least just lock down New York?
Think about that. There's enough, but that's part of the issue that's one of the big issues in the Black community is that the way that they see it when they start separating that is that there's so much disparity between also the higher ups. They're not together. So the wealthy community within the Black world, whether that's also, and there's a lot of entertainment and there's a lot of sports millionaires and that money tends not to be one of the critiques is that it tends not to be unified towards a common goal. Now that we have all of this happening, I'm wondering, as now corporations are getting involved in this, the real question is, are we going to look back 10 years from now and say, awesome, PayPal put in 100 million towards this, YouTube put in 100 million towards, the Black Lives Matter movement. And are we going to look back and go, well, you guys that was just like some cookie cutter, spread out the cash thing? Because like we're saying, we need a concentrated effort. We want that after 10 years, there's not any, there's no poverty within this. Every kid has gone to college. The high school dropout rate in this place is 90%. Can we get everybody to graduate high school here?
Doesn't that all just come down to, again, like defunding the police and putting that money and then
what does that mean though, to defund
into building
police,
community?
Though? I don't understand what that means.
It's to take, because right now the general idea of it is the police have a bunch of responsibilities where they have to deal with like drug trafficking, they have to deal with protecting the community, they have to deal with the homeless, they have to deal with people who are like mentally unstable, it's taking a lot of the money from that, taking a chunk of their budget, putting it towards helping out the homeless, putting towards helping out the mentally unstable, putting towards it's to take the weight off their back, fix the issue at its source, and then they'll have less work to do in general.
Okay, so here's the definition right here. It literally says defund the police means reallocating or redirecting funding away from the police department to other government agencies funded by the local municipality. That's it. It's that simple. It doesn't mean getting rid of them, obviously. Yeah. So, okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
That sounds that sounds smart. So, yeah, it's like going to the cause. Like, let's go to the root. Let's stop putting Band-Aids on things. We need more police.
And then I don't know.
Yeah,
we can get really crazy and, maybe
don't say it.
Order 10 less Apache
I knew he was going to say it. We always go back to there. Hey, guys, do we need to spend trillions of dollars on our military? Could we get little Michael some food this week? Hey, how you doing? We're the American public. Could we get this guy a fucking book, please? Yeah, I don't know.
Let's take it a step further. I mean, do you guys think we should cut giving Social Security to people? Do you think we should have money that just is given to you at a certain point? Like, what do you guys think?
Don't know enough.
I honestly, I don't think we should even touch anything before we address the fact that we spent $700 billion, over half of our budget on the military. I don't care what it just.
You may be right there.
That's just a preposterous amount of money. Like over half of our whole budget. If you look at our budget from what we spend on we spend like $15 million on transportation. I looked it up. Croatia spent like half as much a year on transportation as we did.
Yeah, well,
half a year. And it's the size of, I don't know.
I know. North Carolina.
It's the size of, yeah. And half?
Yeah, you may be right. Maybe that's something that needs to be looked at, but it may stand to see. It'd be like if somebody like came and like shot you in the arm, and then somebody else like came up and like kind of like tapped you, gave you a little light punch on your knee, and you're thinking like, I got to take care of this punch on my knee. You're bleeding really bad from your arm. So we're going to need to take care of that, because in 2019, the United States spent $720 billion on its military. And this is a decrease, by the way, from our military spending from 2010, where we only spent $850 billion. So Tyler, looks like we're fine. We're spending $150 billion less dollars, and that's over 10 years.
There's always the craziest number that comes up where we spend we spend more than the next, I think it's 9 countries combined, and 7 of them are allies.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. But we don't know what you're getting. I think part of the issue is we also don't really understand, because nobody here can name every single country the U.S. has is taking military actions in right now, because the list is always there. We're in places that you don't understand. I don't know what's the return on our military spending, and I guarantee you it's something really weird, because we're doing some shady stuff sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
We're doing shady stuff, but so much of that money just disappears.
It goes in the pockets of people.
That money just disappears. Yeah. Like it's just you sign a check for $10 million and $2 million shows up to where it's supposed to be, and the other 8 got taken off as little agent fees for
this guy who did that favor, who did this, who's helping this guy, and they spread it all out, and there you go. I don't know what to think about that. Besides,
I mean, what could you really do? Yeah. I think like the argument, it's from House of Cards actually, where Frank Underwood is talking about cutting Social Security and reinvesting that money into allowing every American to have a job. Like that's his campaign. Okay. And he's like, well, if we give you the job, we give you the tools to be able to make the money. We're, providing you the solution rather than, what do you call it? Like putting a Band-Aid over
exactly
at the end. Yeah, having to hand out all this money, it's bankrupting the system and things like. Well, I mean, that's true. If you can actually genuinely give everybody opportunity to create their own financial freedom, that's one thing. But that's just not how it's going to work. Obviously, that's not how it's going to work.
Well, you start that with the school system.
Yeah.
You start that with
education.
But you know what the
problem is?
There's no
you say we start with education, and I don't think you're wrong, because I think it is the knowledge and stuff. But I already have an issue with the education. We're all sitting here. Every single one of us. How many years of Spanish did you take? Both of you guys. How many years? I need 4. My education to teach us the shit that I want you to teach me manage this. I need you to teach me about the stock market in a real way. Don't give me theory in this. This is what happens. Let's do education needs to be about education. Like we need to actually give these kids some real stuff. I don't know how many friends I have that get out of school. They went to college. They did all the things right. They did all the stuff. They get to the place and then they go, I learned everything on the job in like 3 months. Like everything.
I have no idea what I learned in college. Like I did all right. I had over a 3.0. I have no idea what I learned. I enjoyed it.
You did the things. You passed the tests when you needed to. You were there.
I did. And you're right. I was in business and I was never stressed about anything I was doing. I was like, I'm just going to show up and they're just going to say, do this. And I know how to write pretty well and I can fix some problems and
not good enough.
Show up, tell me
not
what
good
to
enough,
do.
America. Not good enough. It's not. It needs to be better. That's not good enough, dude. It should be. Everybody who's lived a life, everybody who's been outside of college can think of a bunch of things that they wish they would have been taught. And those are the things that need to, on top of the basis of whatever biology, math, science, whatever it is that we need,
It's also the crazy focus just on a number or whatever your GPA is. It leads to cheating in college. Is just,
I didn't know my friends cheated.
That's like half of what college was. It seemed like was just figuring out how to get around with doing the least work amount as possible to get
high
of a grade as possible.
That's all literally corporate America is as well, though. You freaking go from college and you go in the corporate world and you're always just trying to find the way to improve shareholder value. What will you do to keep your job and to keep your title and to keep the money coming in where you want it to go? Like, what are you willing to do? And
I'm willing to catch this soccer ball.
Yeah, that is an issue.
Yeah, that's just the system we're in. You know, it's survival of the fittest. That's what happens. People cheat, and some people cheat really, really well, so they get away with it and they win.
I didn't know my friends. I didn't. This was after high school. I saw some people I went to high school with years after, probably when we were mid-20s, something like this, and people just started telling stories about how they would cheat in school. And I'm not judging them for doing that or for whatever. I didn't care. And the reason I didn't know about it was because I never considered school to be the driving force for my life. I wasn't, the grade, the number wasn't interesting. I have to be interested in the thing. If I'm interested in it, no problem. I have no issue with learning. I'm all about learning new things. But when they were telling me that they all would cheat, like they would get together, they take their calculators, all the elaborate things. I'm like, I didn't care that much to know, and I didn't know everyone was cheating. They go, everybody was cheating. Will, everybody was cheating. I'm just like, I didn't know.
I mean, you're in a class, you're in a major that is whatever. You're in a class that you don't really care about. It's not interesting, and then someone comes up to you and says, "Hey, I have the test that you're going to take in a week. Do you want to spend 20 hours studying, or do you want to read this for an hour?" And
here's unpopular opinion. Ready for it?
Yep.
Are you ready? Okay. College professors are the laziest people in the world.
Okay.
Lazy.
Explain. Lazy. I want to understand.
All you have to do, if you're a professor, think about it. You're so smart, you memorize whatever your specialty is. And you've been riding that wave of information for 30 years, right? So you go to Baker University now, and I'm not throwing Baker under the bus, but you go to KU, Mizzou, any schools around here, anywhere in the world, and all it is now is the universities have deals with Pearson or fill in the blank book producer, and book producer now has a whole online curriculum that goes along with the book. So all you have to do as a college professor is basically plug in, download the curriculum and all that stuff, and you're doing an online class basically with them being the person that leads it. But if people made their own tests, then you wouldn't be able to cheat. That's the whole freaking thing. Why should you be able to have the test from no, the professors used to make the test.
Right.
They used to have to do the thing. Actually have to make the syllabus and make the tests and the homework and the whole thing, and then it was unique to their curriculum, and then people did it, and that's how you did class. Now you just get things from a test bank, and guess what? The test bank is accessible to anybody because it's been bought, and if you have money, you can buy it. That's literally it.
It's even worse than that, though. Like I had one class where our teacher gave us a practice test, and I didn't know how to solve something, and apparently he just changed the numbers on the practice test to what the actual test was going to be. I typed it into Google.
Oh my God.
The whole test just came up on Google. It's the entire test, all the answers, everything just popped up on Google.
The professors are cheating.
And that was
the professors are cheating. That's literally the definition. They're not having to do their job. They're literally, all they have to do is get paid $60,000, $70,000 a year to just have their degree and then send people homework and then grade it. And they don't have to grade it half the time.
Are they then... Because clearly, yes, you're right. There's just no way around it. Back in the day, there was no mass-produced testing system. They would have to create the test. Are they... One of the best teachers I ever had is this dude named Mr. Bascom. He taught English, right? But it was basically more or less known as basically like it's Life 101, because this dude didn't follow the syllabus. He didn't. He would teach through stories. He would teach through stories of his own personal stories on what he would do. And he wouldn't hold anything back. He would talk about, like, he would tell you shit. It was like, I don't know, if you find a good YouTuber that understands life, here's this guy and whatever, he was in his 40s or whatever he was. And he would be like, we would ask questions. He would go off on a tangent, but within the tangent in the story is a lesson, shit that you can actually use and remember. I know he was supposed to do, and I'm pretty sure like the way he would grade like his English, he'd write an essay. I write the essay. It was like it was like going to a psychologist's class, and like he's like figuring out what do these kids need, what do they need to learn. I'll talk about that, and then I don't really care. You have to write. You got to turn something in. I'll read it. He'll give you a little. It was a different approach, you know. So I just wonder if these college professors are actually having to teach something real. You don't have to do it. Yeah.
Some are though, because my favorite class I took at Mary Washington was business communications, where it would be about writing pretty much essentially emails of just your email to West Coast was a perfect example of it. Just trimming all the fat off, everything to the point. In our test, our projects would be here's a problem, write it out, and it just you would get points off for having the wrong, like having a unnecessary word for this, for putting any sort of blame on the other person, for
convey an idea. It was really well.
More, I guess, theoretical. Like, it's all. There was no way you had to actually understand the whole concept.
That sounds like a more definition of the actual class. I get, then
that was the most useless class.
Right.
I mean, that was the most useful class I took there.
I don't know. I know you guys know who Tim Ferriss is? Tim Ferriss, he wrote that book, The 4-Hour Work Week and The 4-Hour Chef. He's one of these serial learner dudes. He's constantly learning. It's a bit much, all the stuff he does. But my friend sent me his book. It's a compilation of, he goes and interviews, these books they do where they go interview like all these superstar people from the tech world, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Zuckerberg, whoever, people you don't know too. How did you do what you've done, sir? Explain it to, and he pulls all this stuff down. Well, they have some sort of initiative to change schooling in the way that people learn, because they've agreed. There's some sort of like think tank out there that's actually trying to do it. But the problem I usually see, it never carries any weight. We have a giant public school system. By the way, do all the elite, Tyler, you should know this, do any of the elite in Washington send their kids to public schools?
Yeah, that's actually.
Do they only? Okay.
In Northern Virginia. So if you're in Northern Virginia, yes, all of our public schools are.
But they're loaded with money and they're loaded with the stuff.
So they are, because like Falls Church, where I grew up, was in the 50s when this is like just going into a whole issue of when people ask about like white privilege, like this is a perfect example of it. Falls Church, they, I will say it's like one of the least racist places in the U.S. now. If you go there, it's very liberal. It votes like one of the most liberal counties in the U.S., and it's very educated, which usually leads to people not being racist. But in the 50s, when they had integration, the city decided, okay, we're just going to redraw our district lines to keep every minority group out. So it just kept the rich white core center. It's only 2 square miles for a whole city. Property taxes fuel the school. The school is one of the best schools, raises property taxes. And so there's a huge demand for everyone to try to live in Falls Church to send them to these public schools, which is some of the top ones in the country. So it's like, it's a public school, but it's almost like a private school, and your fees is to pay the property tax to live in the city.
You can't go to the school unless you live in that.
So, but the elites will, if you live in DC or Maryland, you're sending them to Gonzaga, you're sending them to all the Christian, to O'Connell, you send them to all
the top.
Like the private schools. But Northern Virginia, all the public schools are, for the most part,
That's really fascinating. I mean, one of the main reasons that I went, one of the things that was really important to my mom, because she grew up in the south side of Chicago, just it was awful for her having to go there, and like she would tell me stories about how she had to fight on her way to school, and just not having it. It's a disaster. So she didn't want me to have to go to, even though where she ended up there in Kansas, the public schools, I don't know if they're top notch in the country. I don't know where they would rank in the country. I know that our Blue Valley, which is, I'm not sure where I would have gone exactly again, but
you would have went to Olathe East.
Okay. Well, I would think I would have went to Olathe East now. There was a new I think I would have gone to Blue Valley Northwest back in the day.
Yeah.
So the idea was to just get to a private school, because like where she grew up, if you could go to a private school, that basically means you don't have to fight every day. You don't have to you get books. You know,
I don't think care. Like obviously Rockhurst and Blue Valley Northwest, like there isn't a big difference there in terms of like teacher quality. Like I would imagine that right now you're gonna be competing, Rockhurst will be competing with like the Blue Valley schools in terms of the resource they have, like in the amount of funding they get from the county and things like that. Like these are like small universities. Most of the high schools in Johnson County are nicer than a lot of the private universities across the state. So that goes for the community college as well, though. Those community colleges are way nicer than the state universities in some capacities.
Yeah, it's just if we could take, I would love to take one of those like a top notch. I don't think people understand, and anyone who's listening to this who's from Europe or Africa or India, in these places where I've been, if we could take them to some of our high schools and our colleges and show them our facilities, and they would be like, so this isn't like Real Madrid's center.
Oregon State was still, we played for a Europa League team. Oregon State's facilities blew away. Absolutely. Just soccer facilities. The football and basketball ones were also like even absolutely.
It's so that's far. They're so far gone though, dude. It's not even close. I told you guys, did I not tell you guys when Man U came over to Sporting Kansas City's like in 2007? Like Paul Scholl, like all those dudes were like, holy shit. like what is you guys have here? Yeah, like how do you have all this stuff? Like we're so far past what they're. I've played in all these stadiums, and some of these teams, you play in packed stadiums, 40, 50,000 people in the stadium. You'll go to the back, and like the locker room hasn't changed since the 60s, and it's concrete. It's really cool. Like there's nothing cool. I don't need all of that stuff, and it's nice and all this stuff, but no, man, U.S. does some stuff on a whole nother level when it comes to
super extra
marketing and Jesus. Yeah. I don't know. All right. I say we crush out this next 10 minutes right here so we can have a nice round. Can we handle that?
Yeah.
We have 10 minutes here. Is your shit on still? I'm surprised, Tyler. I'm surprised your iPad hasn't fallen. Your microphone hasn't fallen.
It's still we'll have the cone now. I got rid of the teacup and I added the cone. The cones are great. I'm going to talk to Blue Yeti and tell them I'm going to just paint this blue, throw a little logo on it, and
well, Jesus Christ. We need to. Yeah. Speaking of Aviata and all the rest, Aviata, I don't think they have the pop-up cones, by the way, Tyler. Like they have the flat ones. B, do you have those flat cones from Aviata still? I love how you're frozen.
I'm frozen.
I think I have some.
Yeah.
Yeah, yours. I couldn't
put this
tell.
up on the screen.
I thought you were just really chill back there.
He looks like a guy that took a sip of like some whiskey and was like, yeah. I took a screenshot. I'll send it. We'll have.
I don't think I have any of those flat cones or any. I kind of did a purge when I moved last time, and a lot of things didn't travel with me.
All right. Well,
let's just say I made some donations to people, and
oh boy. Okay.
So, do you guys ever do that? Do you guys ever do that where you just like some days you wake up and you're just like, oh, I got to get rid of some stuff, and you just like get rid of it?
I only really own what I can move across the country or across the ocean.
You've been there when I'm continually trying to get rid of shit.
Yeah, like when we go back to our like parents' place, and like our parents keep everything. Like Will's dad, like he is so like organized and gets to everywhere he needs to all the time, and like he's like everything perfect. Then he just like has like stuff from 1993, like his tax.
Yeah. Why do you need that? Dad? Well, if somebody comes looking for stuff from the 1990s, he's got a perfect excuse for it too. He listens to this, by the way. He's probably one of our most what do you call religious listeners, he's probably seen. I mean, he's like behind. He'll get behind on things, but like he will catch up to stuff and then refer to things. And he'll be like, Tyler needs to speak up a little bit. I can't hear him sometimes. I need him to speak up just a little bit louder. Can you adjust that? And he'll be like, and like he'll say like he knows things, like he's listening. He'll listen to the podcast. Yeah. So we'll eventually have to get him on. We're all like in the same spot. We'll get Tyler into KC. We'll do something and stuff like that. But yeah, you're right. So like, funny. That's one of the things. Let me just throw this out there. So I've been filming for the last 24 hours, all Golorami shit. It's been a Golorami madhouse, and there's so much content that it's actually driving my head insane. But they have something here called the Recovery Room. Shout out to Clarion Hotel.
Okay.
It's called the Recovery Room. It's a place where you just go. I'm the first person to ever sleep in the room.
Okay.
And I'm also, I don't want to say the only person that they have pictures of people yawning up on the walls. And when you walk in, the TV plays babies and men and women yawning. There's a humidifier. There's a yoga mat. There's books about sleeping. There's free tea. There's a king size bed. I won't say that's probably my favorite part about it. But I would like it to be, and I'm being careful with my words here, as they're a friend of Golorami's. I would like them to consult with us as an athlete on what is actually needed when you want to recover and sleep well. Right? This is the reason this is on topic is because, guys, you don't want a lot of clutter, right? You don't want a lot of things. You want peace, and like think about the peaceful feeling you get when you walk into a monk's quarters. It's a bed, it's nice music, it's a little water fountain, little whatever. You want clutter, Tyler? You want there to be stuff?
Very simple. All I need, cold room, white noise, heavy blanket.
But yes, you've made it simple.
I don't care. I do not care what is my surroundings.
I think you should.
I think
it would help your mental.
Well, my eyes are closed, so I don't really care.
Eyes are closed. Yeah, no. There's all sorts of things that are affecting your, I mean, you've heard about, let's just quickly, like a quick philosophical point. You are everything. You're essentially the sum total of all your thoughts, and from within, so without. So essentially, if your environment around you is a disaster, it's signifying your inner world. This is a philosophical, metaphysical belief. So if you are within this and it affects you, so which is one of the reasons why Jordan Peterson's first thing for anybody who's going through depression, how do I deal with this? Well, he'll say, make your bed. He'll say, clean your room. He'll say, clean up one thing, pick up a piece of trash in your room and put it, because you can control that. You can control that. And so if you can go pick up a piece of trash and put it in the trash, you've made the room, essentially your world around you, less chaotic and giving you a better chance. So you thinking that just because you can close your eyes, when you wake up, the trash is going to stink worse than it did 12 hours ago.
No, because I got the blackout curtains. I can't even see it. I can memorize how to get to
and
the
then
door,
you're just going to leave.
I'm just out.
But you return to it.
I'm just going.
Only at night. I don't.
I like the idea of thinking about the person who really does believe, though, that if they just like make their bed each morning, that they're just gonna be successful. They're like, well, I heard in a book that first thing you do every morning is make sure your bed is all tucked in properly. That you can't not be in trouble.
Can't be a success. You've already you got one win. You got one win on the day. Yeah, no. I mean, I obviously making fun of him. You get the point. Yeah, but still, it is hilarious to think that. But I don't know. Yeah.
One of the first things I do when I'm coming out of an anxiety or depression kind of thing is like I'll just do like an amazing deep clean of my apartment. Like everything will just get I was having a tough week last week. Ended it off. I cleaned the floor like 3 times. Like cleaned every like thing in my place, vacuumed, shampooed the carpets.
How'd you feel?
After it, felt a huge relief. Like, just like, okay, reset.
Sure.
Like, let's go now. Like, all of that, like, stuff was in the past. Like, all that's been like washed away. It's been cleaned. It's been set up for like, now you can take the next steps forward, and you have, you know, less chaos. Obviously, like, it's one less thing to worry about. Everything's clean. Everything's clean, so we're all good. All the laundry's done and folded. Don't have to worry about that.
I actually went through the exact same process last week, but it was more because my roommate was coming back, and then I felt good because we had preseason start the next day, so it's hard to tell if it was actually clean or finally like actually able to like start.
You know,
team
one of the
training
things. So you know how obviously everybody knows that everybody procrastinates, right? And your ability to kill your procrastination is a great thing for yourself. What you're saying, you don't procrastinate, Tyler? Yeah. So everybody procrastinates
so
right?
much.
Well, just like hear me out. I'm just spitting some more. I think this may be from Jordan, but I think it is. I think it's from even maybe the same speech that he gave or one of his lectures. But so procrastination is the same. You're building up. So if you had a mental room, right? So like, oh shit, I got to go to the DMV. I got to get my passport renewed. So all those things that are piling up on your stuff, they actually don't allow you to think properly. And you might think, it's okay. I don't have to deal with that. I'm going to go play video games. I'm going to go do this and I'm going to go do that. But you're actually losing, according to these people, you're in a sense, you're losing your ability to focus on your brain while trying to solve other issues. Can't deal with it because it's going, can you please go to the DMV and pick up your thing? You keep saying you're going to do it. Just go. Can you go do it? It won't leave it alone. So it has to tackle this problem over and over and over and over. So mental space for your thoughts is being eaten up by a bunch of shit that you're supposed to take care of. And so when you do that, you open up more power for your mental, capacity. So
if you procrastinate, it's like literally like allowing your computer to have pop-ups. Like, you don't have a pop-up blocker. Like, you don't. Like, you're just sitting there, you're letting things, like, you're trying to read an article online and then the thing just blocks it. It's like, read here, subscribe, 15. Like, that's literally what procrastinating is.
It's awful. Yeah, go ahead.
So I agree with that. Like, I agree that's definitely true. With me, it's still hard. Like, it's hard. Stuff's I just don't care. Like, I just don't care if stuff's messy. But that definitely is procrastinating. That does. I've have stuff where it just lingers, and you're like,
how about
I'll do
this
it tomorrow.
Go ahead.
That's the worst. Is when I can do something. When I can do something the next day, or something that can be put off tomorrow, it's deadlines are what this, like fuels
how about this,
me actually to get
almost everything we procrastinate on is never nearly as hard as you think it is. I've almost gone like, I can't remember. I need to fill out some form for God knows what. I put it off like 30 days, got to the thing and it was like, click here, sir. And it's like, it's never as hard as you think it is.
I think it's an issue just in general, like, especially in the corporate world. I think that everyone's always like, well, we'll just schedule a meeting for it. Or, we'll just, and it's just like, no, let's just do it now. Like, there's no way you're that busy. And I got caught doing it last week where someone like wanted to do a call, and I just assume that no one else is going to want to handle the issue right then and there. But it's like, it's a massive problem. Like, I think people have just gotten used to this like buffer of time they need for anything to get done. Like, nope, I need another 3 hours to really process even thinking about taking care of this issue. Whereas, like, if you just took the 2-minute phone call and did it, then it's already over. One less thing to worry about.
It's funny with like just editing videos. Like, they're supposed to be out once a week a lot of times. I'll be like, it'll be like Monday. I'll be like, I got that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's the thing. Still got Wednesday, and then it's like Thursday, and like, all right, let's just spend 6 hours.
You know what's bullshit about all this? This is one of the things that needs to be taught. This needs to be taught. You could have a more efficient, happier people. Because have you guys read the book 80-20 Principle? I think it's guy Richard Koch. His name Kock. You've heard of it?
Oh, I haven't read it.
We've talked about it before. But essentially, all that shit is true. Because we're not saying, also, by the way, you could have shit that's popping up in your head. If you try and do everything, you're going to fail. I mean, there's just you can't do everything. You need to do the things that are supposed. But you're going to have to actually take some time to reflect and then think about what it is that you're supposed to be doing. What should we be doing here now? Should we be doing this? Yes. No. Maybe. I don't. Figure that part out. But I think within the procrastination world and within everything that's, that has to do with it, if you literally work on it, it's nothing more than a muscle. It's all you have inertia.
Yeah.
Everything is inertia, dude. You eat sugar, you're going to eat more sugar. You eat shit, you're going to eat more shit. You start eating healthy, you slowly eating more healthy. You go for a jog once a week, you slowly start to be able to do it. It's all that. Like if you just curb procrastination, you're going to get like some super, you become a superhuman. It's literally within your grasp. Just be like, oh God, here we go again.
What is that noise?
Where do you live?
Yeah.
Zoo? Was that me?
I'm pretty sure he lives next to like a zoo.
Yeah.
Was that me? Are you sure
he
that
lives
was
across the city from the zoo? I know where he lives actually. You don't live next to the zoo?
Wait a second.
No. Across the city. Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. I'll be training at this field. You're just in Zagreb, like just in Croatia, and you randomly hear these seals just barking and stuff. Yeah. It's so funny when we're training at that field.
What is the deal with that shelf behind Will? That is the most inefficient shelf ever. Is there a lip? Is there a lip on it? Like
it's IKEA.
Let me turn. I can't tell. Wait, let me see what you guys can see.
I think it's for books. Yeah. I think it's for books.
Yeah. It has a little lip. Okay.
You can see the title.
We got actually a couple good books. I mean, I just want to throw this one at you guys. Richard Branson. I don't know
virginity.
I don't know about that. That's
how much money did he make on that?
It's kind of like Guy Fieri. Did you say Guy Fieri?
But like,
that's what
I like Richard Branson, dude. I'm gonna throw this out here for the people there. I like the dude. I think he's a really cool guy. He's a forward thinker. He doesn't give a shit. Like he'll take on coke. He lost to coke, but like he doesn't give a shit. I like him.
Yeah.
But like, that's some of these. It's hard to sound. You do memoirs and stuff like this. It's hard to not sound like a douche.
Yeah.
It's hard, dude.
Because you like what you've done matters enough to where you're gonna write it's 1,000 pages.
And the dude's done so much that it's not even. It's not even. Yeah, but no, they sound weird. It's not my books, but yeah.
Well, he's done more than high school vloggers.
High school vloggers. That's our next thing out there in the public eye. I'm a vlogger. All right, we're over 135. You got something to kill at the end? Journey. You wanted to throw out? There's gonna be all sorts of crazy short clips here. This podcast.
It's been a blur. I don't even know what we talked about. Honestly.
What did we learn? Gun rights. It's okay. We should recap just real quick. Just the 1 minute recap. Everybody try and think about the things that I can remember that you don't basically need any. There are no rules. There are no gun laws in Kansas. Like
no rules. Dude,
nothing.
Honestly, we learned there's no rules with driving. There's no rules with gun laws. There's no rules with school. There's no rules with there are rules with incarcerating people. So there's only rules if the government can directly profit off of it.
The military spends $720 billion. Say that again?
Professor's the laziest profession in the world. Tell me another profession that's easier, like than being a college professor.
But don't they have to go through a whole bunch of rigorous training before, right?
We just talked about how easy it is to get through college. Just the same thing for MBA. True. Just about having the money to spend the time and you want to get your PhD? Okay, we'll spend some more freaking time and money. That's what it is. Yeah. Don't tell me otherwise. Any one of us could be a PhD in something. It's a matter of spending the time to do it. That's it. Yeah, you could.
I couldn't.
It's a capacity.
If you put enough money on the line, like if I had enough incentive to do it, but 4 years after college I was done. I couldn't even do my classes at Oregon State.
I'm not saying you should want to or you have the desire to. That's why we're not doing it. But I'm saying that there's
capacity.
Not there isn't a capacity issue. There isn't like an intelligence issue there.
Yeah,
like it's just a matter of spending the time on it.
I think it would be better. I think honestly, I've always thought it would be kind of cool to have what do they call them? Not honorary. Honorary doctorates or honorary degrees or something like that. Like they bestow. Like if you do well anyway, like at some thing, like if we open up a foundation that is going to get straight into the research of a certain disease or certain stuff, they will give everyone honorary doctorates. Yeah. And you just be like, you guys could go to school or we could actually do something. about it, and then they'll give you who cares? I don't.
Oh, so you're saying if like some 17-year-old found the cure for the coronavirus, like
exactly, they want to align with them anyway. Yeah, here you go. Hey, Harvard come running. Here he's with us, and then come research and do all the rest. They'll give it to you. We've already seen. I think there's going to be a lot of that stuff will come out. I don't know how big that scholarship scandal actually got, but I'm sure there's some more. I'm sure there's some more scandals.
Oh, I know people who paid like $250,000.
Yeah, and it doesn't happen like they don't just. It doesn't go on the admission sheet, right? It's done some other way. Donations.
No, it's a donation. Yeah. It's like just it's a donation. Usually it's alumni's already with the school. Yeah. They're alumni, so it doesn't look that weird if you're just giving all that money.
We should dive into that sometime. All right. Well, great. Biscuits and tea. We learned a whole lot. I don't, got anything else, B? You're looking at something, or maybe you got something to say there at the end. I don't know. With those shades on, like when you see the reflect, like we can. It's like a TV, exactly what you're like so at. We can like read everything you're reading.
You got to be careful with that.
Yeah, it's seriously shining up. All right. Well, once again, let's just have that last thing. B&T boys, B&T bad girls, bad T boy with the biscuits.
Bad T boys,
bad biscuits and. Girls Boys Club? What are the fans called?
They're the
bad Tians. Sounds like it's made by a complete idiot.
The tea leaves. Shout out to all the tea leaves out there.
The bad boy tea leaves, tea branches. We'll figure it out, guys. Give us some more time. It's a work in progress. We're gonna figure it out.
Can we call them the crumpets?
I asked Knox's family what a crumpet was. I still don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know what it is. His
dad probably just tried to give me a shot
literally,
out of a ram sword.
Like, no, Roy, it's a crumpet. Yeah. No, I don't understand. And your accents are weirding me out already, so I can't pay attention because I just want to repeat everything you say. So
yeah. Speak English.
Okay.
Well.
See you guys later.
Adios.